This is Homelink 8.8, Fraction Number Stories. In class, we've been solving many kinds of fraction number stories. If some of these Homelink problems seem difficult, encourage your child to model them with pennies or draw pictures to help solve them. Solve these fraction stories. Use pennies, counters, or pictures to help. So, number 1. Elizabeth bought a dozen eggs. She dropped her bag on the way home, and 2/3 of the eggs broke. How many eggs broke? So I'm just going to draw a little picture, kind of help us see what's happening in this number story. I guess I can't go in too much. So here's her dozen eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, a dozen means 12. Alright, and 2/3 of the eggs broke. So if I have 3 groups, if I put these eggs into 3 groups, so here's 1 group, here's 2 groups, and here's 3 groups. I see there's 4 eggs in each group. 2 out of 3 of those eggs broke. Okay, so I see that 8 eggs broke. And these are only 4 eggs left whole. Alright, Katie mowed 3/4 of the lawn before lunch. What fraction of the lawn did she have to finish after lunch? Here, I'm going to draw the lawn. And I'm going to split it into equal fourths, equal quarters. Here's the lawn, split into equal quarters. She mowed 3 of these quarters before lunch. 1, 2, 3. I see that she only has to finish 1/4 of the lawn after lunch. So pictures really help with this. They're much easier to see. So please draw pictures, or of course use the pennies or counters too. Donnie lives 1 mile from school. One day, he walked half of the way to school. When he remembered, he had to return home to get a book. When he finally made it to school, how far did he walk in all? Alright, so here's Donnie's house. Here's Donnie's house. Okay? And here's Donnie's school. Alright? Put Donnie's school right here. And we'll draw a longer building for his school. Alright. And I know that this is 1 mile between here and here. 1 mile. So I know that Donnie walks 1 mile to school every day, but look what happened. One day he walked half of the way, so that's going to be, he walked to here. So he walked 1/2 of a mile. I'm just going to write that over there so I remember. And then he remembered he had to go home to get a book. So not only did he walk the 1/2 mile, but then he had to turn around and walk back. So when he turned around and walked back, that meant he had to walk another 1/2 of a mile. But now he's home again. So he still has to walk a whole mile to get back to school. See that? So then he just walked a mile plus 1 mile. So 1/2 plus 1/2, that's going to equal a whole mile. Right? Plus the mile that he actually has to walk to school. So in all that morning, he walked 2 miles. Right? He got his exercise in for sure. Number 4. Sheridan made 4 trays of cookies. She took 2 trays to school for her classmates. She took 3/4 of a tray of cookies to her teacher. How many trays of cookies did Sheridan have left? Alright, well, here are Sheridan's cookie trays. Let's draw them. Here, I just want to make sure. Okay, here are Sheridan's cookie trays. She has 1 cookie tray, 2 cookie trays, 3 cookie trays, and 4 cookie trays. Okay? So, she took 2 trays to school for her classmates. We'll give, these are all theoretically supposed to be the same size, even though I realize they're maybe a little off. Alright, those went to school. And then she took 3/4 of a tray to school for her teacher. So if I split this cookie sheet up into quarters, 1, 2, into fourths. So those ones, 3/4 went to her teacher. Lucky teacher. Alright, so how many trays of cookies did Sheridan have left? Well, I see she has this whole tray left. And then she has a part of this tray left. How much is in this tray? It's just 1/4 because 3 of the quarters went to her teacher. So she has 1 and 1/4 trays left. Number 5. Jackson needed 2 pints of milk for his recipe. If he had 1 gallon of milk in the refrigerator, how much did he use? Alright, so what we have to do for this one, and it tells us how many quarts are in a gallon, how many pints are in a quart. We're going to have to split this gallon of milk. This one's a little bit more tricky. We're going to have to split this gallon of milk, which I'm going to actually just draw as a square because it will be easier to split it up, into pints, because that's what we're That's what we're talking about here. So in 1 gallon there's 4 quarts. So I'm going to draw those 4 quarts in the gallon. So they're easy for us to kind of see. Alright, so this is a quart, this is a quart, this is a quart, and this is a quart. Alright, and then in each of those quarts there's 2 pints. So if I just draw it like this, then I can see, alright, 2 pints, 2 pints, 2 pints, 2 pints. Alright, so how many pints are in a gallon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so there's 8 pints in 1 gallon of milk. And what this is saying is that Jackson needed 2 pints for his recipe. So he can use that pint and that pint, let's just say. If he had 1 gallon of milk in the refrigerator, how much did he use? It wants to know how much of a gallon that he used. So we know that there are 8 pints altogether in the gallon, so that's going to be our bottom number. And he used 2 out of those 8 pints. So he used 2/8 of a gallon of milk. Alright, the next one, number 6. Write these problems on the back of this page, solve and show your work. Doesn't matter if you write them on the back of the page, but as long as you set them up so that one is on top of the other. In the case of the subtraction one, and again pay attention to your signs here. This is only number 7 is subtraction. Number 6 and number 8 are adding. As long as you set them up so that one number is on top of the other, and in the case of the subtraction one, the bigger number must be on top, then it's going to be quite easy to do. 3 plus 8 is 11, put down the 1, carry the 1. 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 1 is 16, put down the 6, carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7, 2 plus 4 is 6. So 2,083 plus 4,678 is going to be 6,761. Alright, now we'll set this one up. 6,714 minus 3,806 is going to be like this. 4 minus 6, we can't do it. So that's a 0. And we'll make the borrow one for make it 14. 14 minus 6 equals 8. 0 minus 0, 0. 7 minus 8, we have to borrow one from over here. So we have 17 minus 8 is 9. And then 5 minus 3 equals 2. So 2,908 is the answer. And then for the last one, we have 4,762 plus 4,762. 2 plus 2 is 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. Put down the 2, carry the 1. 7 plus 7 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. Down the 5, carry the 1. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus 1 equals 9. So 9,524 is the answer. Okay, so this is Homelink 8.8 fraction number stories for grade 3 everyday math.